ended in a blast. The planet is devastated. The Age of Apes has begun. There is only one way to go: up. Let's begin our race to space.
Well, that was a very spectacular trailer from Meta Apes. Welcome, everyone. I'm very excited to have with me today Taylor Shen, business lead from Meta Apes. Meta Apes is a super cool free-to-play, play-and-earn MMO strategy game designed for mobile. As you could see, it was set in a post-apocalyptic world, including a lot of monkeys. And Taylor is going to tell you all about it. My name is Patrick. I'm the community lead for BNB Chain, and I'm very happy to introduce Taylor. Taylor, feel free to give yourself an intro to our super excited crowd.
Yeah, thanks, Patrick. My name is Taylor. Hey, everyone. I am the business lead at Meta Apes. Super excited to be here today to take you guys through our game. We actually did another live session with Binance, I want to say a couple of weeks ago. But that one was much more focused on, the Web3 features of the game and how it interacts with BAS. And so today we'll be focusing a lot more on the actual gameplay itself. So yeah, thank you so much for having me again.
No worries. It's a very cool trailer. To be honest, I like being on these kind of AMAs, right? Because I'm not a gamer myself. I'm impressed by the graphics. I think it's a very cool concept. Your mission is also to, include users as consumers to take part in the network, right? In the network effect of the games, which is a very nice concept. How long have you guys been around, first of all? How long has Meta Apes been around?
Yeah, I mean, only since the beginning of the year. So we're a pretty new team, definitely a new project. And hoping to do something big.
Cool. What do you intend to do?
I'll tell you about it in a second.
All right, cool. All right, no problem. So at this moment, at some point you're going to share the video. Is that something you want to do now or you want to do later?
Let me just give a quick high-level overview of Meta Apes, just so that everyone can be on the same page. And then I think we can dive, straight into the video after that. So, I think Patrick gave a really good sort of summary of the game, but, it's free to play, it's play and earn strategy game that's designed for mobile. And in fact, it's going to be, the first game to launch on the BSC Application Sidechain, which is, otherwise known as BAS. So it's available on Google Play. And so if you have an Android device, feel free to go to the store and download it. The current version that you'll see there is a beta that's running on testnet. And so the official mainnet launch is actually coming up very soon on the 31st. And so next week.
Oh, nice. Next week.
Yeah. And so I think Patrick also mentioned this as well, but, the whole premise of the game is that, the humanity ruled world has come to an end and it's now only monkeys left in this world. And basically you have to work very closely with, the other monkeys and your other players in the game to win this ultimate race to space. And so, I mean, like other MMO strategy games, I think the core, if you played any of them, I think the core features of the gameplay will be pretty familiar to you. So, you're doing a lot of building, and so you're continuing to grow and, grow your city and your troops. You're continuing to produce and collect resources, you're training your troops and that kind of stuff. There will be, of course, an element of competition. And so you're fighting with other players as well as with the NPCs in the game, and then participating in a bunch of different challenges and mini games as well. I would say the third thing is, community. And so that's, I think, a word that resonates with a lot of us here. So it'll be critical that you collaborate and strategize with, the other players in your gang. And then lastly, exploration. So you can travel around the map and just discover a bunch of cool stuff along the way. And so, yeah, I mean, I think you kind of touched on this as well, but the game was really born out of this idea that players and consumers, we feel like deserve, not just transparency and ownership and all these great things that Web3 brings, of course, but more than that, right? So like also think about like a genuinely fun, high quality gaming experience with a community. And so we really try to marry the benefits that Web3 brings to gaming with, what we kind of already know is true with Web2 gaming, which is, the high quality graphics and player experience and all that good stuff. So the last thing I'll say before diving into the video is, it is a mobile game, as mentioned, and it is free to play. So there's no upfront investment or NFT purchases required to start playing the game. And so I think at the end of the day, we hope that this is a kind of game that is widely accessible and, the one that people choose to play because at the end of the day, like, it's just fun. That said, if you would like to, of course, you can, choose to participate in the whole overall token economy and invest in the NFT fighters. But yeah, I mean, I think hopefully that was a good intro. And I think we are ready to dive into the actual gameplay. And so, yeah, once the video starts, you'll sort of see this view of the city. And so we'll be going over various gameplay features, in-game activities that you'll need to complete in order to make your way through the game. So I think we can play the game. All right, so give me 1 second. I think the volume is extremely loud. All right, so let's start. So you'll notice that I've actually already connected my wallet. And so I have, 4 NFT fighters right there, which are generating me a certain amount of shell, which is our utility token. And so I'm going to go ahead and claim that. And shell generation is going to be one of the unique advantages of having these NFT fighters. So coming back into the city, let's take a look at the buildings and how we can upgrade and grow our city moving forward. So the City Hall and Banana Spectrometer, I would say are 2 main buildings of the city that, determine your building speed as well as, resource production, which are obviously very important to your in-game progress. The training camps right here are where you can train your troops. So let's go ahead and actually upgrade our shooters camp first. And then I believe we have to upgrade our hitters camp as well as instructed. And you'll notice that, as you level up, the time that it takes to upgrade will increase over time. And then the Apes Tavern, this is, you can check in and get daily rewards. And, this is what you want to do. I think there might be a little bit of a delay. All right, there we go. I think this is what you want to do in Meta Apes is to follow the requests, but also check in and explore, on a regular basis to earn extra rewards. And so once again, let's upgrade our training camp as instructed. And this time, I think it's a pilot's camp. And as you can see, these upgrades actually use up our resources. And you can also send help requests to your gang. And so I still have a couple quests remaining in this chapter, and a lot of them are actually happen to be building upgrades. So I'm going to go ahead and use my speed ups. Actually, give me 1 second. I think there might be Are you guys hearing a delay between the video and the sound? I just want to make sure that's not just on my end.
No, it looks pretty solid on my end. It's fine.
All right, cool. All right, so actually we shouldn't be on the fighter section. All right, so yeah, I just want to make sure because the sound is a pretty important part of the game. So I just want to make sure that it's all synced up. And then, yeah, moving to the fighter section, you know, I need to upgrade one of my fighters to level 8. And so, you know, I'll do that by using XP right over there. And you basically just need to use enough XP, you know, to take you to level 8. And then you'll see when we go back to the fighter section that the first 4 fighters that I have here are NFT fighters, which you can tell by sort of their colorful rainbow background. And then, you know, additionally, the NFT fighters will also have more skills available to use and increase power for each of those skills as well. And so, for example, you know, Oscar, who you'll see, you know, has greater strength and a total of 5 skills versus because he's an NFT fighter. And then in comparison, Darcy, which is a non-NFT fighter, will only have 4 skills, which is sort of the default, and then no additional power per skill. So either.
Just that you know, I'm still seeing Oscar right now.
Okay.
And I guess Darcy's gonna appear any second.
Got it. Yeah, I wonder if there's a delay on my end.
It's okay,
but that's fine. I think
super clear what you're saying.
As long as there's no delay in the actual what you guys are seeing, I think it's fine. All right, so Patrick, what are you seeing right now?
I'm seeing a really wild here now. Now is Darcy, Phantom of Wild
All right.
Town.
Got it. Okay, so here's Darcy, like I was saying, and so she's a non-NFT fighter, and so there will be a discrepancy in the number of skills and the power. You know. All right, so now that we've upgraded our fighter, you know, let's upgrade our warehouse, which is a facility that, you know, protects our resources. And then I think I should probably check back, yeah, and and see what else needs to get done. I think, you know, still a couple activities remaining. And so in the meantime, you know, we're gonna collect some resources that our banana spectrometer has generated us. And I think this is going to be really important for you to do as you progress through the game. And then, you know, now I guess let's take a look at, you know, what's available in the item shop. And so, like I mentioned, because Shell is our, you know, utility token as well as our in-game currency, there's a bunch of stuff that you can buy using your Shell. And so we're going to go ahead and buy some of those. And then in addition to our item shop, the arena is going to be another really important place where you can spend your Shell. Basically, it'll be the primary source of items that you'll need in order to upgrade your NFT fighters. And so if you go, you can see that, you know, you can use your Shell in order to earn some of these items. And then, Patrick, is it paused on your end as well?
Yes, but it's moving on now.
Okay.
It's moving on to a.
All right.
It's wanting to move on to a trailer.
Please do let me know if I get ahead.
This is what tech is all about.
I wonder.
Right?
Exactly. But I mean, the point is that the arena will be, you know, your primary source of, you know, items you need in order to, you know, upgrade your NFT fighters. And so there will be special metals or special gene potions that are, you know, tailored specifically for the NFT fighters, right? And you can do that in the item shop, but you can also win them here.
Cool. Super straightforward. I got a million questions, but I think I'm going to ask them in a sec.
And then
victory.
Taylor, are you still there?
Another victory.
yeah, here I think there might be a little bit of an issue with my connection, but I'm still here. The video is still paused though, right? I wonder if I should I try reloading this? I do want to make sure that.
Yeah, you know, like the thing is, you can reload it.
Yeah.
Or we can just, you know, we have all the opportunity to show another time as well. We can dig into questions. It's whatever you want to do, right? We can dig into the questions, or we can try it again with the video. Like, because you know, sometimes internet connections are choppy.
No. Definitely, and I'm almost. I wonder if because it worked perfectly fine last time. But let me just give it one more try, and then if it doesn't work, then yeah, happy to kind of jump into I guess everything else that I wanted to cover, which is I think just much easier to obviously see. But if not, if it doesn't work, then we can totally. Here, let's see.
Sure, go ahead.
I would be happy to answer any questions. Apologies, everyone, for this.
It's fine. It's fine. It's the most honest thing that can happen, right?
See. Exactly. All right,
while we wait, I'm going to just ask you, how do you even get the XP, right? Assuming I'm a noob, which I kind of am. I'm a gaming noob. How'd you get XP?
Yeah, just through playing the game. So you'll get a variety. So it's not like so formulaic, right? Like if you do one thing, then you'll get iron, versus if you do one thing, you'll get food. You'll always get them also most likely in bundles as well. And so yeah, you'll get a variety of things, for fighting the mutants, right? And then winning those battles, or even like you saw, like collecting your resources that your building has generated you, all that type of stuff. And as you kind of complete your quests, and there will be also like mini quests that you do so along the way. So for example, like there are chapter quests that you have to complete in order to move on to the next chapter. But there, you will also, at a certain level, the game will also give you more and more sort of ways for you to be able to earn these in-game resources. And so XP, is one of them. And yeah, it'll basically be used for upgrading your, the levels of your fighters, like you saw. But you could also get them from the item shop. And so yeah, a lot of different ways to win a lot of different resources in the game, definitely.
Sure.
Okay, let me try this one more time. If it doesn't work, let's just go straight into the questions. All right, so I guess it's starting from the. All right, kind of seems to work. Okay, let's start from here. So this was the arena. I think this is where we got stuck on. Hopefully we can see it a little better. If not, I think I'm just gonna skip over to here. Let's see if this works better. Maybe it's the arena, right? Anyway, this is the gang. And so I did want to show you this because this is obviously going to be the team that you're working with on a day-to-day basis. You can start rallies with them. You can, donate to the collective research, all that good stuff, help each other out. And then items is where you'll see all of your in-game items in one place. And then we can go ahead and upgrade our Apes Tavern as instructed. Yeah, I think you'll be seeing a lot of upgrading in this particular chapter. But I think we should be getting pretty close to kind of completing chapter 7. And then this next thing that I wanted to show you is impasse trials. So this is, one of the challenges in the game. And so as you reach higher levels, this too will evolve and become more and more difficult to beat. And you'll actually end up having to be pretty strategic about, certain things. So like you'll get barricades that you can set up. You'll get slowdowns and all these things that you'll want to use pretty strategically as you move on to higher and higher levels. And then yeah, I think
love it when I win. Oh yeah.
Let this run. I just do want to. I want to give you guys a sense for what this looks like, but I think you get it. I think there's another mini game that we'll show you towards the end of the demo. That's a little bit more, call it relaxing. But anyway, I think once we have the impasse trials and moving forward, I think there are a couple buildings that we wanted to speed up just because there's been so much upgrading. Speed ups is a super important and valuable resource that you'll want to accumulate and use appropriately. And then I think the last thing we might want to do is probably upgrade our city hall just like that. But yeah, we don't want to wait 20 minutes. And so we're just going to speed that one up as well. And then once we've done that, I think that takes us to actually the next chapter. And so I'll just show you. Again, I don't want all of you guys to deal with this delay of the video. So once you've completed a chapter, then you'll be taken to the next one. And then, I think we're now in chapter 8, and this one, you'll unlock more and more buildings as well. And so you've unlocked the research lab, which we didn't get to see, but that's what we're doing right now, is that we now have a new research lab where you can conduct research across a variety of things. And it's meant to, improve your fighting, your resource production, all those types of things. And then let's skip forward. So this is, what the map looks like. And so if you zoom out, you kind of see where everyone's located, and like the center is where you're, trying to get to. And then if you click on, I think, the calendar icon, you can kind of see all the different events that are going on. And this is another way that you can, earn rewards. Like Patrick, I think we talked about it. Like there are just many ways that you can get rewards in this game. And then lastly, this is the other mini game that I want to show you guys. And so, if you're ever playing Meta Apes and thinking to yourself like, oh man, this is like a little stressful, it's getting a little too intense, and I just want to like pass some time doing something more casual, we have mini games like this, right, that you can play just for fun and actually still earn rewards. And so I think, this is a great way to diversify your gaming experience. And over time, I think it'd be really cool to, crowdsource ideas from the community on what other mini games, we should have in the game, right? I think for them to be able to vote on that kind of stuff would be, I think, really fun. So with that, I think after a couple mishaps and delays, I think that about covers the demo. I mean, hopefully, I wish that the video ran more smoothly, but hopefully you guys get the idea. If you don't, certainly feel free to download the game because it is available. So yeah, I've been talking for a while, so thank you for listening.
Very, very cool. No worries at all. It was super clear. It's very normal to have lag, right? It's very normal in many situations. Like I think we could have theoretically done this whole demo in an hour. There's so much to see. From what I noticed, right? So many in what did you call it? In-game games, like mini games.
Oh, mini games, yeah.
Like how many are there in total?
Well, so I mean, some of them are directly, correlated to like you have to do it. You have to complete them in order to move on to the next level. Like the impasse trials that I think attempted to show, and I believe you guys saw them. That's so these are all. If you go to the game and kind of click on challenge, you should sort of see 3 that are being impasse trials, and then I believe there's a great train race is what it's called. And then Alvin's treasure hunt, which is the last thing that I showed you. I would say they're all, obviously very different in nature. And like something like the impasse trials, like you had to complete that level in order to progress to the next chapter. Sure. But not every one of them will be directly tied to your like in-game progress either, right? And so the whole point is that if like I think there is like diversity to the experiences that you can get in Meta Apes. And I think, over time, it'd be really, I think it'd be really cool to, like I said, like get these ideas from our community and see what else we can add.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. What does that mean? You're going to get ideas. How are you going to let the community decide what they want to play?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess one aspect of this, and we can kind of start to get into this, is so I think I mentioned that there is a utility token, in our game, right? So
It's the shell.
exactly, and but Meta Apes is going to have a dual token model. The shell will be part of this upcoming mainnet launch next week, but Banana will not be. Banana is the name for our governance token, and so. I think in the future, of course, if you have our governance token, the idea is that we would, want to hear from you as much as you can, and for you to vote on things, right, on the trajectory of the game and all that kind of stuff. So, and I think forget the kind of token side of things. We also have a growing Discord community. And so we even, with our testnet beta, we've been very open about just, hey guys, like, please report any bugs, please report any issues or any complaints you have, like, about the game so far, and so we're all ears. And so, like, even if you're not necessarily a Banana token holder, let's say, right, because you're just like a free to play, like, casual gamer that just wants to play this for fun, there are ways that you can have impact, I think, on the game by just submitting feedback. And I think that's something that we really care about, and that we really cared about with the testnet beta, and we'll definitely, be even more, I think, keen to kind of, I think that's just something that is so critical to having any type of successful, game. So
you touched upon the whole topic, right, of Web3, and that's like a major differentiation between Web 2 and Web 3. That's also going to help you and us get a lot of community, right, because they're going to get ownership of the whole network. Mm-hmm. So, like, it sounds cool. It's going to be super exciting. No one knows really where it's going to go. Also, considering there are relatively a lot of Web3 games, right? Not compared to Web2, but there are. How does this one differ? Like, you've touched upon it a little bit. How does this one differ from other blockchain games?
Yeah, I think the short answer would be that it's a lot more interactive and fun, right? I don't want to answer this question by throwing shade at any of the other great games that people have built, of course. But I think this is something that I've mentioned in the beginning, and also try to showcase with the demo as well. I think there's something for everybody in Meta Apes. And so, if you're a traditional Web 2 gamer, then, you now have an opportunity to earn while playing a fun mobile game that you would have played anyway. But now you get to, truly own your in-game assets. And then, on the other hand, like, if you're a blockchain gamer who's primarily looking to play to earn, then, well, you still get to do that, but now with, again, like, a much more interactive and I think entertaining and higher quality gameplay. And so I think that plus, Meta Apes sort of, I think we really want to provide this, like, community oriented and grounded gameplay. And so again, I showed, like, the gang, it's all about, like, collaborating with your with other players, and there's a lot of different social elements, like, in this game, right? And so I think, that obviously is something that appeals to both traditional and blockchain gamers alike. I think so. I would say that's kind of the biggest way that we're different.
You're tapping into
right.
two crowds.
Right. And I think moving forward, like, I think everyone would agree that there almost needs to be, a greater focus on like, the quality of the gaming experience, right? And I think Meta Apes, hopefully, despite all the delays, hopefully you could see the good quality that we're trying to deliver to our players.
If anything, like, it just went super fast, right? Maybe that says more, that says more about me than about young gamers, because I'm just not up to par at the moment. Just that I understand, and that the community understands, right? To go and play this, they download the app, or they go to a testnet environment online before your launch. You mentioned like a launch, right, next week.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, where can they go to play it?
Oh, right now you can, if you have an Android device, you can go to Google Play and just download it straight from there. Awesome. And so, it's super easy to use. And I think, of course, you have to connect your wallet and all that stuff, right? If you do want to participate in in the Web3 kind of aspects of the game. But I think, a lot of our players at this by now are pretty used to, I think, that process. So, but if you're just simply looking to download, get access to the game, you can just download it from Google Play.
Cool. So you connected to your wallet to your BSC address? I don't want to get into the nitty gritty, but if you know.
Yeah, so it runs on BAS. And so it'll be called the Ape Chain. So basically we have our own chain. And so, which is what BAS allows you to do effectively, right? And so it'll run on that chain. Yeah.
And do you get in-app instructions how to add the contract address, all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if you if you, let's say you don't have MetaMask, then upon kind of starting the game and then going to the NFT section of your profile, it'll say, it'll provide a button or have instructions on please make sure that you have, MetaMask installed or another wallet installed. And then you click on it and, let's say you do have the wallet set up already, then it'll be a really quick kind of connection process. And then let's say you don't have that particular network in your wallet, then it'll just give you prompts so that you can just,
Awesome.
you can just simply follow the prompts and it'll get that added to your wallet.
That's very cool, because as you all know, one of the biggest, the highest barrier to entries is that it's just not user friendly. A lot of the crypto products, right? So the fact that you guys are prompting the user into the game is very cool. You mentioned a little bit about, play to earn and then free to earn, right? Where you get either shells, bananas for governance, or shells. Could you tell a little bit about, you mentioned the word fighters. Can you tell a little bit about the fighters as well?
Yeah. So so our fighters, which is basically the main character that you're, playing as in the game. So you'll have a chance to, buy the NFT fighters. And so I think I mentioned some of this before, but basically the NFT fighters are special because, it'll come with a number of unique advantages. And so first of all, they generate shell, which is the utility token in the game. And so, you saw that in the beginning of the demo, I had 4 NFT fighters. And so they were generating a certain amount of shell, and that'll depend on the rarity level of your fighters. And so, that's important because you can then use your shell to buy things to upgrade, your NFT fighters, buy other in-game resources, all that good stuff. And then secondly, they come equipped with more skills. And so let's say that non-NFT fighters come with 4 sort of default skills. NFT fighters will have anywhere from 1 to 3 kind of extra skills in addition to those existing 4. And then each skill then will also have increased, strength and power. And so, I think it's pretty good utility for having an NFT fighter in the game if you want to, of course, just make it through the game kind of faster.
Sure.
And I think one thing that I should also mention is, I guess, besides the skills and the strength, they also come with special effects, which are primarily cosmetic. And so, think different backgrounds, so much more colorful versus the solid background of a non-NFT fighter. It'll also have, special kind of lighting and halo as you move through the map. It'll display your user ID, and none of which non-NFT fighters have, right? And then one thing that we didn't get into actually, and this is something that I think will reveal more moving forward, is having an NFT fighter will also allow you to identify your deputy general, for the lack of better words.
Okay.
And so once your fighter reaches a certain level, basically what you can do is you'll be able to, send your fighters to battles in pairs. And so if you have an NFT fighter, there will be a way for you to be able to identify which other NFT fighter will be best paired with your NFT fighter, basically creating, much more synergies and the strongest pair possible effectively. And so that's another advantage that you'll be able to, enjoy if you have an NFT fighter. So yeah, I think that answers your question, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot to encompass. Are you guys exploring the use of skins and having a marketplace for skins and avatars is that too far-fetched at the moment? Like, because if you can
Yeah.
aggregate all these extra features, whether you get an NFT fighter, and you progress through the game and you get these extra features, halos, will you be able to swap those, exchange them? And also tied into that question, how will players engage with each other in the game?
Oh yeah. So I think to your first question, I think there's a real possibility to that. I mean, I think it's probably not in the most near term sort of roadmap, meaning in like the next couple of months, right? Just because I think there's a lot of things that we want to achieve first, including like the launch of our banana token, like our governance token, and like making sure that the app is available in the iOS App Store as well. So I think we have some like big things that we definitely do want to launch first, and are super focused on right now. But I think that's a great idea, and like that's definitely something we're thinking about, because I think there is value to being able to almost like express yourself, right? Like we know that's such a huge business, like the whole cosmetic like skin business in gaming. And so yeah, I think that's something that we're definitely exploring. But I think we want to be hyper focused, on like what we need to kind of execute in the next like month or two, or three, and then we'll take it from there. I guess in terms of how people interact in the game, I mean, it's literally like I think I started to zoom out the map a little bit, but if you're in the game, like you'll kind of be around each other, so you can see them walking around in the game, or I think I try to show like sending help requests to your game. And so like if let's say I'm trying to upgrade a building and it's just like taking too long and I don't have any speed ups, let's just say, then if you can always send help requests to your gang, and then they'll kind of help you out and it'll speed up the process, right? And so and there's of course like the chat functions and stuff available where you can chat to them as well. And so there are a lot of different ways. Yeah.
Very cool. You've already mentioned like a few things, right? Speaking of a roadmap, a launch, mainnet launch. Mentioned something else which slipped my mind. What else is coming?
Yeah,
What are you guys focusing on perfecting, right? Before you step.
No, definitely. So I mean, mainnet launch is coming on the 31st, and so that's sort of like the biggest thing that we've been focused on, of course. I would say besides that, I mentioned introducing like the governance token in the next, in the coming months. And then, launching the iOS version of the game as well, which I know a lot of people have already been asking about. And so it is on the roadmap. We are working on it. And then, I think, down the road, of course, there are like a lot of things we can do, whether that's like, NFT collectibles, like, it's stuff like that, or even staking, all that good stuff. But I think, I would say those 2 or 3 things are sort of like highest priority items, at least for the next couple months. But yeah, and honestly, just even like, I think it's, you don't just launch the game and that's over, right? Like there's a lot of maintenance and there's a lot of just like live ops and a lot of just, your communications that you're going to have with your community. And I think, that'll probably take us a lot of our time as well. Again, I think we want to make sure that this is like a really, really fun game, and we're hoping to do the work to kind of make that
a really fun game, which will be an awesome distraction from the volatility of the markets. So you might expect a huge inflow, especially like I don't know how big your Discord is, right? But if you're getting traditional gamers from Discord, or you're funneling into this game, the community grows. I think it's a great opportunity for users, for the community who's watching now, just to tune out of the market, play a fun game, right? And you're definitely gonna, probably can't reveal what's gonna happen or what will happen with the governance token or utility, but I guess there will be some incentives for the user, like for early adopters, let's say, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've already communicated some of that to our early, players, and so there will definitely be rewards for when our actual governance token launches, of course. And so that's something, that's no secret. I don't think, like, we've already communicated that, and we will, of course, deliver on our promise. But yeah, like I think We'll definitely reveal a lot more of this as, in the next month or so, as we know more. I think for us, it was done strategically that we kind of wanted to launch the game with the utility token first. And then, the governance token, I think we wanted to be a little bit more thoughtful about. So that is the plan that we're executing against right now.
Cool. Lastly, obviously you've launched on the BNB Chain application sidechain, which in theory, hypothetically going forward, should allow game developers to scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
To have millions of transactions super fast, without any lag, without any problem. Why? That's the hypothetical. That's the theory. Why did you guys decide to launch on BAS?
Yeah, I mean, you listed them all. But I think, really, I think it's especially important with gaming applications, where it's just like, if you think about it, real-time performance and updates and response is critical, right? And then also you're dealing with a huge volume of transactions all the time. And so I think it for gaming applications in particular, like something like this is just so game-changing. And so, I think by having our own chain on BAS, we're obviously able to achieve much greater customization, higher performance, like I mentioned, much greater scalability. But I think all with the sound architecture and security of the BNB chain, I think that's one important thing to emphasize here. And so, I think being able to do all that and having that flexibility and lower transaction fees, all that's great stuff. But I think we kind of also felt we felt comfortable knowing that this is all backed and kind of secured by the BNB infrastructure and security. And then I would say one last thing, of course, is the strength of the Binance brand and its community. Also can't go unsaid. So yeah, those are all the reasons that we decided to build in the
cool.
in
Yeah,
this
you mentioned a few extra ones, is the speed and the transaction fee. That's super important, right? Especially because there are going to be so many transactions.
Right.
It's important that they're either going to be super low or non-existent. I think we've kind of come to the end. But I was thinking, if you want, I think it'd be a cool idea for you to come back, in a week or two, and then we do a long demo, right? We can use a full hour to demo the whole game after mainnet launch, perhaps. Just to give another opportunity. Also, because there was a lot of information. There's a lot of stuff packed into the game. I think it's cool to unpack it. If you want to come back, that would be cool.
No, thank you for the invite. No, definitely. I think I do think as we sort of launch on mainnet and we kind of expand our functionalities and all the features within the game, there will be a lot more that we would want to share with everybody. And so yeah, hopefully we'll be back in a couple of weeks and we can go through a lot of this in a lot more detail, and hopefully, fingers crossed at that time that we don't run into technical issues, but we'll see. I'm gonna knock on wood now, but yeah, I appreciate it. And thank you so much for having me on here today.
No problem. It's really great having you. What is the Discord handle where people can go? Is it Meta Apes Game or what is it?
Meta Apes Game. Same with our Twitter as well.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks so much, Taylor, for joining. Hope you guys all enjoyed the demo on Meta Apes. I think it's going to be very exciting. Good luck with the launch. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. Thanks, everyone.